Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, May the 12th, 2014. We're on the road to Payback now, and who knows what's going to happen from here. As you see from the title of the video subtitle, we have a devastating revelation involving the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I'll explain that, and of course, what is the fate of the championship, and what I think may happen. We're all going to speculate till we get official word. Before we get to that devastating news, and of course, another devastating loss for WWE in my mind, two of the most popular guys are either already gone or going to be gone, as you see from the subtitle. Punk's gone. We don't know if he's ever going to come back. And now D-Boy may be out for a while. So before I kind of discuss what I think is going to happen with D-Boy and the fate of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, we had a kickoff for tonight with The Shield. Furious about the beatdowns they received over the last week by Evolution. First being cost a match against the Wyatts last week on Raw, and another beatdown apparently at SmackDown. I don't watch SmackDown. So the Shield were fuming. Yes, they won the battle at Extreme Rules. But as right now, Evolution's winning the war. And apparently Batista ain't leaving anytime soon. Everyone's like, oh, Batista's going to leave after Extreme Rules. Well, Batista's not going to be leaving for quite a while to promote his little movie. Maybe he'll leave after Payback. Anyway, Shield came out to say, we want a piece of you, Evolution. We want a piece of you in the worst way. We want a rematch against you at Payback. Yeah, we won the battle. We want to win this war. So as they were talking in the ring, wanting a piece of Evolution, ill timing for Evolution, they pull in the building. They arrive in a big stretch limo and nice fancy suits. And Shield's like, we're going to come out and beat your asses right now. So they came out and ambushed the Evolution in the parking lot right after they arrived and just beat their asses down in the parking lot until security backs them away. You had like iOS and Finley and all the agents trying to separate them. Later on, you had a segment involving Shield accepting, or should I say Evolution, coming out for a segment saying, we've had enough of you, Shield. We will accept your little challenge. It will be at Payback, Shield against Evolution 2. Once again, no stipulation, but like the Extreme Rules match, it may not need a stipulation because it's still going to be a war. And during that segment involving Evolution accepting the Shield's challenge, another brawl happened. As Triple H was speaking, he got tripped up by a ring, Rollins, should I say, causing another beat down the ring. Causing the main event to be named Batista against Roman Reigns this evening. And we will see if Evolution and Shield would get involved in another brawl again. Now, as we get prepared for a main event, we cannot have a main event without starting the main match card. So we would start off our match list. First action-packed match of the evening. Not action-packed match. First match of the evening involving Jack Swagger and RVD. These two have had their little issues since Swagger, of course, was involved with Cesaro to screw RVD out of the IC Championship shot. Zeb Coulter came out once again with his little immigration sign list, which is kind of funny. Adding a new name, of course, Adam Wells, who made his debut last week by crashing Swagger's party and just beating him up. Now, I didn't like his debut because he didn't wrestle. Plus, he didn't pull in a bus. And as Swagger was preparing to wrestle RVD, here comes Adam Rose coming out. We want to get a punch on Swagger, but then Adam Rose did his mosh pit jump thing with his Exotic Express crew. It proceeded to get squashed by RVD. With that dispatching from Adam Rose, he got kicked in the head by RVD. Set up for the 5-star Frog Splash 1-2-3 victory for RVD in a squasher. It kind of, the only purpose it served is to hype up the Swagger-Rose feud. But Rose is not looking good right now. In his first 2 weeks, Rose has been involved in stupid little segments. He hasn't wrestled yet. And he's involved in silly segments with Swagger and Cesaro. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we'll see what happens with Adam Rose and see how long he'd be. Like, he's got okay with C, but his debut was so weak. You know? It's like he came out with his little crew. I was hoping to see the bus come out. I know a lot of people were hoping to see him come with the bus last week. We've seen people come with people drive limos in the arena, JBL, Zambonis, Austin. You know, all these people have drove these vehicles in the building. Del Rio, anyone? We did not see Rose in the bus. That could have helped. But we'll see how far this Rose Swagger feud heats up, especially after this squash tonight. Now on to our next matchup. I think a lot of people are going to be... People are venting. Whether it's storyline-wise, in character or out of character. A lot of people are venting. We saw a lot of people vent frustrations in various ways tonight. Starting off with Alicia Fox, as she would come out to wrestle Paige, thinking that she should be the Divas Champion, and she showed a very aggressive, mean streak as she beat up Paige just before the match started, beat her up outside the ring, dragging her inside the ring. Despite Paige being beat up before the match went on with Miss Fox still on the attack on the Divas Champion. After that pre-match attack, premeditated attack before the match. So as Paige was still getting pummeled by Alicia Fox, Paige would indeed come flying back with some power moves of her own, going for some nasty big moves, going for a headlock, and I thought she was going to go for a big submission move. But then she would later come back with a devastating finisher. Besides the submission, of course, the Paige Turner and the victory for your Divas Champion. It was an okay match. I think she was beat down again. She needs to show more offense, but still, she showed a little bit of offense coming out of the beatdown from Alicia Fox. Now, like I said earlier, people are venting their frustrations in different ways. After this match, Alicia Fox threw a temper tantrum. Was she on a period? She just vented. She tore the table up. She threw things. She was just bringing everything. She even took JBL's hat and she said on the app she quit. It could be cause of one man who also vented tonight, who I want to see pushed again, Damien Sandow. I'll get to his venting in a moment. Now, like I said, I think Sandow kind of started it. Sandow's venting out and ranting against being booked bad and venting against the system, storyline-wise, or in character or out of character. Kind of might have inspired Alicia Fox's little mean streak after her loss against Paige tonight. We don't know if the critting part is a storyline or not, but at least Alicia Fox may get a little bit of a push again. Maybe there's a way to... Maybe Alicia Fox's contract is up. And maybe she's quitting that way because of trying to find a storyline way of getting her out of contract because her contract is up and she's probably not renewing. So there you go. Now on to our next segment. Of course, the subtitle of this video. Daniel Bryan came out. I thought we were going to get going and continue this ongoing storyline with Kane. I told you there was matches made for Payback tonight. Maybe they were going to make the match between Kane and D-Bryan. That's what I thought. But then D-Bryan came out saying he was required to have neck surgery. Thought in my mind was, wait a minute. Is it storyline or real? I say this in my TNA review a lot of time, but I think WWE is the same thing too. You can't tell what's real and what's not anymore. I think in both companies. So I thought D-Bryan, okay, it's a storyline thing. But then I did my research and I'm like, wow, it is a real injury. He's been battling neck problems since his concussion back in January. So D-Bryan is required to have surgery and he doesn't know how long he'll be gone for. Now, they didn't address, as you see on my subtitle as well, the fate of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is yet to be revealed. Kane attacked D-Bryan a little bit later on in the program. Stephanie McMahon came out saying that she was going to talk to D-Bryan face to face. I thought it was going to be the segment where D-Bryan got stripped of the championship. But then Kane came out showing D-Bryan got beat up by him. This segment later on involving Kane beating up D-Bryan served two purposes. One, to further explain D-Bryan being out for a while because of his neck issues. And two, to delay the decision of the fate of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I think they're waiting until D-Bryan has his surgery on Wednesday because this neck injury may not be as severe as they thought. Maybe because D-Bry said, I don't know how long I'll be out for. Maybe be out 2 months. Maybe be out a week. Maybe be out for a year. Because I've seen some neck injuries like Benoit and Edge require them to be out for a year. Or it could be what happened with Ziggler. Last year, Ziggler had a concussion. He was out for a while. He never lost the championship. He was never stripped of the championship until he got his ass screwed against Del Rio at Payback. Last year, ironic that Payback's coming up. So while we speculate to see whether or not D-Bry will be stripped of the championship or not, if by some chance D-Bry's injury is more severe, that he'll be out longer than expected, instead of being out 2 months, maybe 5 months, 6 months, maybe a year, who would be the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion? I think Sendo should get another push, and Ziggler. Those are my top 2 picks to be new champion. I would say Cesaro or Bad News Barrett, but they're not pushed enough yet. You know, Cesaro needs to get rid of Heyman, or at least tell Heyman to shut up about Brock Lesnar beating Taker. Be more about Cesaro, not Brock Lesnar. So, we'll see what goes down with the fate of the championship. We probably won't find out the fate till probably next week. They're going to Europe next week. Raw's going to be in London. So, we'll see what goes down with D-Bry. Like, the surgery's Thursday, so we'll probably get news Thursday or Friday at the latest, but it'll be announced on TV probably next week. Especially if you get stripped on Thursday, we'll maybe get a match at Payback to determine a new champion. Or a tournament. Who knows what's going to happen. But as of right now, D-Bry is out. He's going to have neck surgery. We don't know how long he's out. And we don't know what does this mean for the fate of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Like I said, D-Bry's not stripped yet. But hopefully we'll find out the news sooner than later. Now on to our next matchup. John Cena. Super Cena teamed up with the Usos tonight against the Wyatt family. Of course, Bray, Harper, and Warren in a rematch from SmackDown. I don't watch SmackDown, like I said. It was because of gigs and I don't like taped. I've been to a few SmackDowns where it's like they fucking edit the fuck out of it and add too much canned crowd noises. TNA's like that too, and they're taped. Anyway, so we had Cena, called Super Cena, trying to overcome this Bray Wyatt thing. He wanted to get his hands on Bray to continue their little feud. Despite typically steel cage matches are the end of feuds. But as we saw last week, Cena and Bray Wyatt feuds apparently fall for being over. And Usos trying to get in. I think Usos may have a tag team match against Warren and Harper. That would be intriguing to see Warren and Harper as tag team title number one contenders. There's not a lot of worthy tag teams right now to get a title shot against the Usos. Yes, my backs are making a shot sooner or later. They're looking good, especially when they had their little foray with Sheamus a little bit later on, which I'll get to. But Warren and Harper, I would like to see them as tag team champion contenders. I don't think they're actually winning championships. But to see them against Usos, very intriguing to see if that would happen. Especially since the Wyatt family are really getting over with the fans. Specifically Bray in his epic promos. Like I said, they're not the best wrestlers in the world, but they just play that role so perfectly. The whole spookiness angle. Ever since the debut, I felt they play that role perfectly. And now it's really catching on, especially the feud against Cena. Anywho, Usos came in with the big flying actions. Till, of course, one of the Usos got isolated in the corner by one of the Wyatts. And an okay little six-man. It was actually a pretty interesting six-man tag. It was all chaotic with all the men trying to do all the finishes. Cena trying to do the front knuckle shuffle a few times, trying to do the after touch a few times, and Usos doing a big nasty kicks. It was all chaos for the last 10 minutes or so. Then, of course, after Usos took care of the other Rowan, and I think Harper and Bray were coming in as we head towards the end. They got double kicked by both Usos, and Usos started flying, leaving Cena in the ring with Rowan to get the attitude adjustment. And a 1-2-3 victory for Cena. I think Cena was put in Sister Abigail. And that's what happened. Cena was in Sister Abigail. And then Usos came in with the big flying kicks, setting up for the fly move, and setting up Cena to get the FU victory on Warren. But then Bray Wyatt wasn't done yet. A little bit later on, like I mentioned, not just the Shields match between them and Evolution was revealed tonight. One wasn't officially set, but it may be official as of Friday. Because Cena's going to answer Bray Wyatt's challenge he set for Payback. Last man standing match at Payback. Like I said, Cena hasn't officially accepted yet, but let's just say it is on. Bray Wyatt against Cena. Last man standing. The steel cage match was okay, but last man standing, we'll see what happens. The last time Cena was in a last man standing match was against Ryback. It was a pretty physical match. The ending was kind of cool, even though they both knocked each other out and couldn't get up to the count of 10. I hope that same ending doesn't happen again to save Cena's ass. But we'll see what does go down in the Bray Wyatt Cena match at Payback, the last man standing match. Now on to our next matchup. Nikki Bella against Natalya. Now this came out of some sort of storyline on the Total Divas show. And all the other Total Divas cast members, you had Nikki wrestled Natalya, and Brie, and one of the Funkadactyls, and useless Eva Marie was out there with all these scorecards. Kind of weird match, that was kind of silly and pointless. I should score to 0 for not being interesting. That's how I rate this fucking match. 0. Just because it was just pointless. Or it could set up Natalya heel. Natalya needs a big push. You know, maybe we can set up a Natalya heel turn based on this situation between her and Brie on Nikki on the show, but her painting a picture of Cena and having a feeling. So it's kind of a silly match. With Nikki getting the victory. After being distracted, I think she was kind of distracted by the other Total Diva girls. Maybe Natalya's going to turn heel, but who knows the story. Especially after Nikki got the victory with a big roll-up. It was okay, man. It was a typical Divas match. It's kind of pointless, though. Now, on to our next matchup. Or should I say, just get to our next matchup. Sheamus taking on one of the members of Ryback. Both Ryback members, of course, Ryback and Chris Axel were kind of doing the ODX thing, the rock, paper, scissors of seeing who was going to be first, or who was going to be facing up against Sheamus. They had a coin toss and everything. Chris Axel went to face Sheamus, but as we would see later on, I don't think they needed the coin toss or anything because, as we would see, both men would get a shot against Sheamus tonight. Non-title, though. So, first off, Sheamus took on Curtis Axel. And it was an interesting matchup. For one, it was well set up this little, basically 2 matches in the same night. That was very intriguing to see Sheamus in this situation. His match against Axel was pretty well rounded. I think Axel did pretty well. Axel looked pretty good in this matchup. He had some great offense on Sheamus. Who knows? Maybe Axel, who is a former Intercontinental Champion, maybe even though he and Ryback is kind of improving as a tag team and maybe getting a tag team title shot, like I mentioned, doing the Uso, Cena, Wyatt match, maybe they could make Axel once again a singles competitor, maybe go for the U.S. Championship. But despite Axel looking good, having an interesting performance, he started tapping out near towards the end to the Cloverleaf. So, we would have Sheamus' victory, but like I said, it wasn't over yet. It was Ryback who came in attacking Sheamus, following the victory on his tag team partner. So we would go into an imposing matchup, Sheamus against Ryback. Now, this match was actually pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of Ryback, but both Ryback and Chris Axel both look good in the matches against Sheamus tonight. Very great back and forth action, especially when the ending was pretty interesting. I think there was a couple good spots, like Ryback was going for the meat hook, and then Sheamus countered to the white noise. And it was kind of back and forth, like near fall to near fall. It's kind of very interesting matchup. And I don't praise Ryback a lot, because Ryback's just a guy who just beats people up. But he actually put on a good performance tonight in this matchup, as well as Curtis Axel. To see these guys, the tag team competitors, take on a singles champion, and both having good performances, maybe looking for both of them getting a shot. Maybe a triple threat match. Now that would be intriguing. See both these tag team guys go for a singles title. But the ending came when Sheamus was going for the Brogue Kick. He was ready to set up the Brogue Kick following the big pounding. And then getting nailed with a meat hook by Ryback. And Ryback was setting up for the shell shock. He got Sheamus up in the position for the shell shock. But then Sheamus got back up. Boing! Bro kick. 1, 2, 3 victory for Sheamus. So he defeated both Ryback's members in singles matches. And they were fun matches. You know, it could set up some for Ryback. So both going for the U.S. Championships. And I'm going for the tag team titles. Like I said, really intriguing to see triple threat. So, there you go. Very, very good matches. Both guys looked actually pretty good in this matchup. They're still good singles guys. And tag team they're doing better on. So we'll see what direction they take. Whether it's still going for the tag team titles or going for a singles title. Triple threat at Payback would not be surprising. And you know what's a good one? When two guys who I want to see pushed so bad were both on Raw tonight. Dolph Ziggler, who saw a sign that says push Ziggler 2K14 and he fucking deserves it, took on Fandango. Now, I love Fandango. I'm kind of a fan of his character and stuff. It's kind of a little silly, but I would have been mad if Ziggler would have got squashed to Fandango. Because Fandango, even though I like him, it's beneath Ziggler, who's a former world champion. Of course, I explained earlier about a screw job of losing the world championship back at Payback last year, and he needs to get another push. Badly. And I was hoping to see maybe, because Summer Rae's been gone for a while, of course. Fandango's now with Layla. And I really thought that Summer Rae would come out and distract Fandango, especially with Layla being involved in the matchup. As a little bit of fun matchup. Both guys were delivering well, because of course, kind of fumbling. As Fandango had his little flashy little dance moves, he was going for a big move off the top. But then, like I said, he was going for the big moves there. And, of course, Ziggler had some great advantages. But, of course, he got distracted a few times by Layla. There was one time that Layla did distract Dolph. And then he got whammed by a kick in the face by Fandango. Got the 2 count. And then, once again, Layla's distraction, again, this time, being stuck on the ropes, that plan backfired. As Fandango got distracted by Layla, later to be walking into a zigzag, or stretch, it looked like a famous enemy. But it was a 1, 2, 3 victory for Ziggler as the Fandango distraction from Layla backfired. But he ended up being a winner anyway by getting kissed by Layla. So we could see Summer Rae come back soon. I thought she was going to come out tonight. Since Layla was distracting Ziggler, I thought Summer Rae was going to come out and help Ziggler win. But we didn't see Summer Rae tonight, but I think she'll eventually come back to continue this whole little storyline, this breakup between her and Fandango. Now on to our next segment. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Of course, one of the stars of the hit show on WWE Network, cheap plug, Legends House. And I love Legends House. It's more laid back reality show. Not the biggest fan of the Real War type shows, but people living together. But this Legends House is a fun show. I've been watching every episode. It's a fun show. Now, he came out, and he's, of course, Mr. USA. Sorry, Tony Atlas. Another guy on Legends House who's got a little problem with Hacksaw on the show. He got interrupted by Ravishing Russian Lana. Now, I think she's hot. I've said it before, but her character's not good, especially now that they're supporting Russia and Putin. God, the whole Ukraine thing. That's another topic for another day. I don't do politics. Shut. I don't talk politics. I'm sticking my nose out of it. I'm not sticking my nose into politics. That's not my forte. That's kind of like my father's thing. My father's more the politics guy. I'm the entertainment pop culture guy. And the WWE guy, and NFL guy, UFC guy. You see my videos. You see my music news, entertainment news videos. And of course, these reviews. So it's like, I'm not the big political guy. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't know shit. My dad tries to teach me, but it's like, I don't want to talk about it. I like dabble in it. My dad dabbles, but I don't want to. So anyway, Rusev comes out. It beats a Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That was kind of a useless segment, but may start a new feud. Biggie Langston goes from being the Intercontinental Champion to losing it and feuding with Rusev. He came out to try to rescue Hacksaw, but he got squashed by Rusev as well. He didn't get put in the accolade, but it could start a Big E Rusev feud. Weird. See, Big E go from being IC champion, now he's taking on Rusev. Now he's gonna get squashed. Or maybe Rusev will get his first loss if he faces against Big E, which is the direction it's going, looking like. Coming out of this segment tonight. Now on to another guy I want to see pushed badly. Damien Sandow. Now, like I said earlier, we had two people venting about their position in the company. We saw Alicia Fox going off, feeling inspired by Damien Sandow. Now, Damien Sandow crashed the pre-show tonight on the WWE Network and kind of vented about, being frustrated about being in the company. I think it could start something. I hope this starts something. He could be an ex-CM Punk. He could drop that pipe bomb hood around the world. That's what I was hoping he was going to do as he was getting ready for his next match, but he got interrupted by Cody Rhodes. How apropos. These two were both tag team partners, and they're both caught in slumps. Damien Sandow's in a creative slump, and Cody Rhodes is in a storyline slump, with the breakup between him and Goldust happening. It may not happen now, but who knows? Intriguing match if Sandow could control, especially targeting Cody's knee. He looked pretty well in this matchup, delivering the big moves like the elbow to stay. He tried it once, but then he did it again on the rope. On the apron, I think it was on the apron or on the floor, he nailed Cody with the elbow after missing it. Cody nailed the big moves, including crossroads, but that couldn't get Sandow finished. The ending came when Sandow was under control again, but then Goldust distracted the referee, and that was enough time for Cody to get the gouging poke in the eye into Sandow, deliver the crossroads, should I say, the disaster kick, and the 1-2-3 victory for Cody Rhodes. I hate seeing Sandow lose again, man. I want Sandow to get pushed again. And this could be the start of it, I've been ranting, especially ranting on the pre-show tonight. It could start some. It could lead to Sandow dropping his own little pipe bomb. That's what I'm hoping for. Sandow needs to rebel. Not just character-wise, but personally-wise. He needs to get a fucking push. I feel bad for him being a fucking joke. He's turned into a joke. He went from having money in a big briefcase to being dressed up as Magneto and getting stomped by Hugh Jackman. Now he's a huge joke. And I don't want him to be a joke. He needs to get back on the winning ways. And I like Cody too, but it's like Sandow needs to push. And Ziggler too. And now that D-Bryan may no longer be WWE champion, as long as we know how long he's out for, who knows the story. Now on to our main event. Batista taking on Roman Reigns. Of course, with the other members of Evolution and cheered at ringside. Of course, referring to Reigns, his partner Rollins, tag team partner Rollins, and of course Ambrose, and Triple H, and Randy Orton. With all of these elements around the ringside area, you should expect the brawl to go down. What is exactly what happened? But as Batista and Reigns got off, Reigns came in with aggression. Both these guys came in with aggression. Interesting main event. Of course, hyping up more for their feud and getting more hype for their matchup at Payback. So, Reigns looked pretty well, but of course, Batista came back with his brutal straight. It was the Animal versus the Powerhouse and the Shield. Of course, referring to Reigns. But as Reigns was going for big moves, after Batista came back with some big splash moves, some big moves, Reigns did eventually went for the Superman punch and got the Superman punch, and they were going for a spear. But it was setting up for the spear on Batista. There was some outside action. There was a couple moments with, I think Batista was going for a big move, then all members of Evolution and Shield were on the apron. And they could have come up with a ball, but then a little bit later on, like I said, after the Reigns spear and also the big foot from the big foot move from the outside, the jumping knee, the jumping dropkick from the outside move. He was setting up for the spear. Then he got pulled out. And Reigns was about to get pedigreed on the outside by Triple H. Then Reigns and partner Rollins and Ambrose came in. And the brawl happened. And of course, no contest. As all 6 men were brawling. Outside the ring, and Shield was taking control of the situation and really dominating on Evolution. Taking care of them and getting revenge for the beatdowns from last week. But as Shield was putting Evolution in place, Stephanie called out the reinforcements. Here comes the cronies. Job Squad. 3MB. Swagger. Sandow. All the heels that were basically in that 11-on-3 matchup a few weeks ago. And they were just pounding on the Shield. Just pounding on them. But then, as Reigns was being set up for a big move from some of the jobbers, or should I say some of the reinforcements, Roman Reigns nailed the spear, and Rollins and Ambrose came in with steel chairs, nailing everybody, and Evolution got out of dodge and saw all the reinforcements got destroyed, especially the triple powerbomb on Ryback. As Evolution just stood and watched, Shield stood tall yet again. Of course, hyping up more for their feud, giving more hype for their feud, more momentum for their feud, and of course, hype for the match at Payback. So like I said, 2 matches set for Payback tonight. Shield against Evolution. Cena and Wyatt, not officially storyline made yet, but Cena will probably accept it for the pay-per-view on SmackDown Friday. Seeds are planted for maybe Ryback and Axel taking on Sheamus for the U.S. Championship triple threat. That'd be interesting. It'll also be interesting to see another match being seeded towards possible Big E's Rusev match. We'll see what goes down with that as we head towards Raw the next couple weeks to come, as Payback is happening June the 1st. See what goes down there. And of course, the fate of the championship, hope to find that out soon on whether or not D-Bar be stripped or not. Like I said, they could do a lot of things. Maybe they have a number of contenders match at Payback and not strip D-Bar yet, or kind of new champion. Who knows? We'll probably find all this out within the next couple days, in the next week or so. Raw's from London next week. So we'll see what happens in Raw, London next week. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great rest of your Monday night, everybody. See you later. Yes, yes, yes.